I did not go to Nepal with any plans or with the intention of achieving any goals. I had previously spent 3 months backpacking in India before crossing the border by bus from India into Nepal, where I planned to hang out in Kathmandu, explore, and just go with the flow. However, the more time I spent in this mysterious, magical, and powerful country, the more I was moved to explore, to push my limits, to discover what secrets hid in the mountains and perhaps deep within myself. By the time my 2 months were up in this most venerable country, I had done things I would never have dreamed I would ever do. I had spent 3 weeks trekking alone in the Himalayas and reached the base of the highest mountain on earth, and taken a vow of silence while spending over a week in a Buddhist monastery. Reflecting upon life, what drives us and inspires us humans to struggle on, I learned about myself and bore witness to the hardships that are many people's way of life, yet they smile and love and share what little possessions they have. Fuck, that kid was young. He looked like he was 10, maybe like 13 max. Shit. One of the first things I noticed while in the Himalayas was the hardiness and resilience of the people that live up in the mountains. Poor baby. To receive almost any supplies in the Himalayas means it must be transported, most commonly by pack mules, and as the elevation increases, yaks. Transporting goods at these distances means that anything the villagers cannot grow locally, such as sugar, must be brought in from below, and the cost is high. The people work very hard every day, growing and harvesting their own food and herding their animals up and down the mountain passes to reach their destinations. I found it difficult to distinguish the age of these Nepali herding boys, as the hard work and harsh weather conditions seemed to age them more quickly, and they often turned out to be younger than I would have ever imagined. Working as a porter during the tourist season is another common way for the males in this country to generate income, and witnessing the unbelievable loads these men and boys would haul for days or weeks on end through these mountains still shocks me to this day. Near Everest Base Camp, I met a porter who was carrying a stove, and another who was carrying a fryer on his back. These appliances had been brought up there so the tourists who were summiting Everest could have French fries while they camped out and practiced for their climb. The knowledge these porters are typically paid a trifling sum of $15 a day for this incredibly difficult, backbreaking work only added disgust to my dismay. I understand the job of a porter is a debated subject and is a source of income which is still greater than what many other jobs can provide in the country. However, knowing the age of some of the porters I met, the amount of weight that they carried, and the wages these porters make leaves a sour feeling in my stomach and a bitter taste in my mouth, and I can't help but disagree with many aspects of it. At the very, very least, their wages should be higher if they are going to carry loads larger than what the animals bear, and for only $2 an hour. I've only briefly mentioned the topic of porters, herders, and the difficulty of living in the Himalayas. I could go on at length, but don't have time in this video to go in depth into these subjects. If you're interested, there are a great many documentaries that touch further on this, and I will leave more information in the description below. After hearing so much about the beauty of Nepal and the amazing experience one can have while trekking, I decided I should go. At first, I imagined I would go trekking for only a few days, But the more I heard about possible routes and realized Everest Base Camp trek was an option, the more resolute my heart became. In the end, my trek would not last 2 or 3 days, but nearly 3 weeks. I was recommended to hire a guide so I wouldn't get lost in the mountains. It was suggested I hire a porter to carry my bag in case I couldn't manage carrying my own pack. And people were surprised I wasn't at least going with a group of friends if I refused to take a porter or guide with me. But I disagreed with all of that, knowing I could make it alone. The way almost all foreigners get from Kathmandu to the town where the Everest Base Camp trek begins is by a 1-hour plane ride from the capital of Kathmandu to the distant mountain town of Lukla, but I was too poor for that. I knew there had to be another way. By asking around, I discovered there was a local bus that would take me from Kathmandu to the Khumbu region in 20 hours, and from there I would be left to journey on foot, as no vehicles could make it past that point. It would take me a few extra days of trekking before I would reach the town of Lukla, where all the other foreigners were flying into and where the official trek began. But what did I care? I was in the Himalayas. I was going to see the tallest mountain on Earth. I kind of wish I would have recorded. The mountain before I got onto it, but I started at the bottom today. Down there. And zigzagged all the way up to where I am now. This monastery. Karikala is the city, or I should say village, that I'm in. I have quite a ways to go before I get to Lukla, probably another day or two. But at least another day or two, maybe 3, we'll see. And we got the little monks and a puppy. Oh, hi puppy. Hi. Hi, you little baby. Hi, how are you? Yeah, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. Anyways, onward forwards. Aside from 2 solo men I met while on my 3-week trek, I was the only one traveling alone. Everyone else I encountered had either a guide, a porter, both, or were traveling with friends or in a tour group. Of course I met, spoke, and even trekked for hours with people I met along the way. And some of those incredible people became friends I am still in contact with today. Hey! No, he's always fucking with me. Hey! Has he got my good side? Oh my god. New York! Oh shit. However, for the majority of my time in the Himalayas, I spent my time alone. I had no constant companion and would eat alone, find and stay in lodging alone, and follow the path alone. I found it so peaceful, solitary with my thoughts, reading and writing in these tall, ancient, and powerful mountains. There is no internet to connect to, No bars or restaurants or worldly temptations or distractions. Just the wind and the mountains and you. Standing in Everest Base Camp. It's a ghost town, season's over. But these glaciers, man, wow. So I've explained in many videos, but this is Khumbu Icefall. And all these are just ones that have slowly been pushed out. It is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. It's so bright. But amazing. Just, I could camp out here for a long time. And Everest somewhere way beyond these mountains and the clouds. Just incredible. These things are huge. Look at, there's that guy. He's tiny. I don't know if you can make him up. These things are massive. Just between the rock and the furthest glacier back. Oh, it's amazing. On the summit of Kalapatar, very close to this mountain, I've been filming, walking from the Moche to Baraksha. Just right in front of it, right next to it. Below we have a lake. Over there is base camp, Khumbu Icefall, Everest. And some other mountains I don't know the names of. On my 11th day of trekking in the Himalayas, I made it to my destination, Everest Base Camp. It would take me another 19 days to journey back down and reach the comfort of civilization and hot showers in Kathmandu. But while up near the top of the world, I would summit Kalapatar and gaze upon the tallest mountain on earth, 29,029 feet in the air with her head in the clouds. She was magnificent, she was stunning, she was truly extraordinary. But so was every other part of my journey in getting there. The mountains I climbed up and then down from that I never learned the names of. The night sky that glowed with the light of a million scattered stars, as bright and beautiful as they appeared to the ancients thousands of years ago. The stray dogs that roamed these desolate mountains in search of a little love. The people I met along the way that helped each other out when it was needed. The fear as an earthquake rattled the floor beneath our feet, and then relief as it ceased. The struggles, the frustrations, the joy, the stories shared, the selflessness and raw, sincere warmth I felt, and the friends made. That is what made this journey so special, and that is what will stick with me forever.